Hey friends, Jewel back again with another super cool astrology video. And today I thought we would focus on Moon conjunct partners IC. So that is the cusp of the fourth house, or you can find it also opposite exactly to the midheaven. So it's very much about the place where we are our most vulnerable. It represents our our deepest emotional habits, our deepest feelings. That fourth house is very much about the mother and about nurturing in the past and our experience of that and nourishment, intimacy. It's very much the house of intimacy and, feelings. So, and home, domestic life is very much the fourth house. So it is a house of deep intimacy. So the moon is originally the planet that represents the fourth house, because Cancer is that original fourth house sign. So the moon and the fourth house have everything in common. They are really about the same things. So when we have somebody's moon within, 5 or 10 degrees, and the closer it is to, the IC, the cusp of the fourth house, and the moon within somebody's fourth house, this video also applies to that, but the closer it is to the actual IC itself, the more potent this contact is going to be. So when any planet conjuncts another person's IC, this is going to be a very intense experience for the fourth house person. So when it's the moon, you become emotionally a part of the intimate inner landscape of another person. You touch them at their very core when your moon is right there at their fourth house. It is a very deeply bonding contact. The house person is always going to feel it more than the moon person. They both feel very drawn to each other, and it's a quick understanding. At least initially, they come together emotionally quickly in the beginning. And it's always, any time in synastry when somebody else's planet falls into somebody else's house, the house person is going to have the deeper experience of that. They're the one that is really touched. The planet person is more unaware of what's going on. So the house person, the fourth house person in this case, feels very much like, and it could be the third house as well, if it's, on the third house side, very close to the IC. We can see this as well, but this is even more stronger contact when the person's moon is actually in the fourth house. So they are just very much on the same page when it comes to, at least in the beginning, what it is they are looking for when it comes to their psychological nourishment. Now you have to look at the aspects to the moon person has, because psychological nourishment, psychological experience, that doesn't imply health. So you have to see how the moon person's thinking and feeling is going on, how their experience of emotions is, how emotionally healthy they are, and that'll give you a lot of the clues as to why they are so drawn and bonded and sticking with the fourth house person. Because in this particular contact, we can see a great deal of psychological enmeshment and potential codependency come in, especially when it comes to the house person coming to very severely depend on the moon person for their psychological and emotional sustenance. So it's almost like they come to need the moon person for their emotional nourishment. So if the moon person pulls away or rocks the boat or rattles the china, there is a giant disruption within the life and the psychological and emotional foundation of the fourth house person or the IC person who this is. Could be the third house person. Typically, if we see the fourth house person really react to the moon person changing or, making some noises about not being happy, the fourth house person, this really rocks their world because they come to rely on the moon person in such a way that it's almost like a mother figure is being taken away, almost like, they're being abandoned in a larger sense than having a rewiring going on within the context of a romantic relationship. So they find a refuge in each other, and the fourth house person comes to rely on that in such a way that they really kind of over time forget how to exist or be on their own in a healthy way. This can happen. It doesn't happen every time. This is one of the side effects that you can see with this particular conjunction. So they have this habit of kind of creating this world that's their own. They sequester themselves a lot. They spend a lot of time at home. There's a big focus on the domestic life. They feel that domestic life is this place, home is this place of refuge, because they both, where they meet psychologically and emotionally is right there at the home life. So this is where we see most of their involvement go on, is within the home. So these people can almost get together and almost retreat into their own environment. And so it's one of these contacts where it is typically a great contact if the relationship is good, if the relationship is healthy. If the relationship is not healthy, this is a contact that can really throw a wrench into things, because these two have a very hard time psychologically and emotionally separating from each other because of the way they come to rely on each other for their sense of safety, their sense of security. So they have a difficult time going their own ways if that's the case, because it's almost like they forget how, if they spent a lot of time together or it's been a long relationship, they almost forget how to be on their own, and they have to almost learn how to feed themselves again. So, and this happens for both people. They both come to very much rely on each other when it comes to their feelings, and there can be an expectation that the other person should provide or be responsible for their feelings. Because, see, this is the house of the mother. This is a domestic house, and these two people are meeting psychologically and emotionally right there. So they can almost have a expectation or feeling that the other person should mother their feelings in a certain way. So, and this is not something that they sit around and discuss. This is just one of those things that we fall into a relationship trance with. And when things are in the fourth house, they're comfortable. We don't want to give them up. We are in our safety zone there, and that can, really complicate a relationship that basically is unhealthy because it can keep it going for reasons of security. So typically this is a great contact in a good relationship. But this is a contact that you hopefully do not want to see in a relationship that you shouldn't be in, because this one can keep people there because their security needs are being met on some level. So you have to look at everything in synastry, because you can't just look at this one and say to two people, oh my gosh, you have this dream contact, this is beautiful, you're going to be a part of each other's emotional landscape forever, and well, whoa, maybe that's not good, because the rest of the contacts are telling you that there's a lot of control here, there's a lot of manipulation, or there's, a great deal of potential for dishonesty. So it's one that I like to see in composite charts that are good. But in composite charts, I'm sorry, synastry charts, this is not a composite video, it's a synastry video. But in synastry, in relationships that are challenging, this is when you have to watch out for, because they can stay together for the wrong reasons. So, I hope this was enlightening. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. If you enjoyed this, I will be back with more super cool videos super soon. Yes, I do private consultation all the time. I mainly am a relationship and intimacy astrologer, but I interpret all types of charts under the sun, so email for an appointment. You can find me on the internet at truthinaspectastrology.com. You can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology, where you should find me because I do the daily astro weather forecasts, birthday descriptions, articles and writings, all kinds of fun stuff over there. So check me out, and I will be back super, super soon with more super cool stuff. Bye.